my sweeties, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Celise, and thank you for joining my spooky little family. In today's video, we are going to be talking about 8 more reincarnation/infection movies to add to your list. Let's get into the video. At the number 1 spot, we have one that I just watched and really enjoyed, and that is Birth from 2004. Directed by Jonathan Glazer, this film follows Anna, a young widow who is finally getting on with her life after the death of her husband, Sean. Now engaged to be married, Anna meets a 10-year-old boy who tells her he is Sean reincarnated. I genuinely was very intrigued with this film. It is an interesting take on grief and loss and how we cope with death and how it really affects us all in our mind and in our body. Nicole Kidman is completely fabulous in this movie. There is this one shot of her that is literally, it just focuses literally on her face. And it is about 2 minutes long, and you guys, it's so beautiful. It's literally just on her, and she's watching a film, and we see all the emotions rush through her whole face. I highly, highly recommend this film if you have not seen it. On a lighter note, at number 2, we have Death Becomes Her. Directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, and Bruce Willis. When a woman learns of an immortality treatment, she sees it as a way to outdo her longtime rival. This film is a lot of fun, and they are all absolutely amazing and hilarious in this. This is 10 out of 10 a cult classic. If you haven't seen it for like some bizarre reason, you have to. It is more along the side of comedy, fantasy, horror. So if that's not something you're into, maybe you should skip this one. But all I have to say is that this film is so fun. It 10 out of 10 holds up. Also, we are not gonna forget, baby, that Meryl Streep in this film is the ultimate spooky bad bitch. Do I need to say more? Speaking of spooky bad bitches, we are now at number 3, and that is Dead Alive, directed by Peter Jackson. When a Sumatran rat monkey bites Lionel Cosgrove's mother, she's transformed into a zombie and begins killing and transforming the entire town while Lionel races to keep things under control. I absolutely love this movie. I was recommended this film by one of my subscribers, Andy. Shout out to you, Andy, because this is now one of my favorite horror films of the 90s. I also, shameless plug real quick, did a Put Me Through Hell movie commentary on this film that you can definitely check out here on my channel. But because I didn't do a full review, I thought it deserved a place on this list. This is known to be the bloodiest film of all time. And damn right, it is bloody, gory, and so much fun. It is hilarious. And Paquita is yet again another spooky bad bitch who gets things done. Now on to more serious and creepy vibes. At number 4, we have Wreck. Directed by Jaime Balaguero and Paco Plaza, a television reporter and cameraman follow emergency workers into a dark apartment building and are quickly locked inside with something terrifying. I absolutely love this movie, and it still freaks me out to this day. Having to rewatch this film to make sure that it is worthy to be on my list. It 10 out of 10 hit different for me this time around, especially with everything going on right now in the world. This film was highly triggering. But I am here to tell you that it is 100% worth the watch. From the acting from our leading lady Manuela Velasco to the really well thought out and well paced jump scares, this film is just it. I am pretty sure you all know about this, but for some people who may not know, the American film Quarantine is actually an American remake of this film. I have not watched all the Wreck films, so if any of you have watched them and enjoyed them, let me know in the comments. Do they like get ridiculous? Are they worth watching? I don't really know because, baby, the poster for Wreck 4 is a hot mess. Now at number 5, I know this might be like a little controversial, but at number 5 we have Rabid from 2019, directed by Jen and Sylvia Soska. The quiet Rose works in women's fashion clothing, hoping to be a designer. A traffic accident damages her face, and she gets experimental stem cell treatment, leaving her stronger and prettier than ever. But there is a very unusual side effect. Okay, I know right now that some of y'all are gonna drag my ass real quick, but don't. Yes, I enjoyed this remake of Rabid because I am sorry to say that the original, it just did not hit for me. I thought the idea and everything was really cool, but for me, it ended up being a lot more boring than interesting. In this remake, they definitely give Rose more of a backstory and a lot more story to deal with. And that's something that I really liked because I kind of felt like I could connect with Rose more in this film. I also really love how in this film, you just know it's a Soska sister film because there are so many genuine creepy and eerie scenes. And when these people are rabid, they are rabid. It is so well done. However, even though I was vibing with this remake a lot more than the original film, I do feel like this film definitely failed in its last act. It is definitely one of those things that sounded really, really good on paper, but just didn't translate well on the screen. And honestly, that was a really big disappointment for me. But nonetheless, I think it deserves to be on this list because besides the last act, I really was entertained and there is some really good gore. And honestly, if you like the Soska sisters, I think you will definitely enjoy this film. Keeping it on the infection side, at number 6, we have The Crazies from 2010. Directed by Breck Eisner, 4 friends find themselves trapped in their small hometown after they discover their friends and neighbors going quickly and horrifically insane. This is one that I'm gonna say again. Y'all know I don't like zombie movies, but this is definitely one of the films that is the exception. This one is genuinely scary, and it really just kept me on my toes the whole time. I have not seen the original film. I actually didn't even know this was a remake until a couple years ago. So if any of you have seen it and you think it's like better than this one or something, please let me know in the comments. Now we're about to talk about Spooky Bad Bitches Rising from the Grave. At number 7, we have Burying the Ex, directed by Joe Dante. Before horror enthusiast Max can break things off with his girlfriend Evelyn, she dies in a bus accident. In time, Max meets another woman only to have Evelyn resurface as a zombie, ready to consume their relationship. Now, this film came out at the same time as like all those movies came out about like dead ex-girlfriends and like girlfriends coming back as like zombies and shit. For some reason during this time that must have been a trend or whatever, but this is definitely a film that for me personally I think is a lot of fun. It is definitely one of my comfort movies. It is more along the side of horror comedy. So again, if you're not into horror comedies, this is probably not going to be for you. This film stars the late Anton Yelchin, who is one of my favorite actors of all time. So again, just like a major plus for me. But he was seriously amazing. So if you have not seen this film or you haven't seen any of his work, I highly recommend it. We also have 2 queens, Ashley Greene and Alexandra Daddario. So honestly, what more could you want? Now at number 8, we have a classic. Do you know which one it is? It is Evil Dead 2, directed by Sam Raimi. Ash Williams and his girlfriend Linda find a log cabin in the woods with a voice recording from an archaeologist who had recorded himself reciting ancient chants from the Book of the Dead. As they play the recording, an evil power is unleashed, taking over Linda's body. This one is just as good as the first film. And honestly, do I even need to like explain anything? If you have not seen Evil Dead 2 for like, again, some bizarre reason, you definitely need to. This film is iconic and has really great kills. It is also genuinely really creepy and also really funny at times. I do have one honorable mention and it's pretty obvious. It is going to be the original Night of the Living Dead. I am just gonna say here again, the monstrosity that was the remake we don't talk about here. And if you haven't seen the original Night of the Living Dead and you only watched the remake, then you need to go and flick it on. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps me a lot. And click the little notification bell to be up to date every single time I upload. And let me know in the comments, what are some of your favorite reincarnation or infection films? Do you recommend any that I haven't seen? I'd love to talk about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.